Hello, very good morning, dear students. I am Vaibhav Shah, and we are discussing chapter number 6 of subject economics, and it has been our lecture number 7 in this particular chapter. In previous lectures, we discussed about the types of unemployment, in which we discussed all the 5 types of unemployment which are given in our textbook. That is open unemployment, underemployment, disguised unemployment, cyclical unemployment, and lastly frictional unemployment. Now, today onwards, we are going to discuss about the causes of unemployment, because it is very much important or inevitable to understand the reasons of unemployment. So causes or reasons are one in the same thing, where we have to understand first of all the reasons behind the causes of unemployment. In India, the information regarding unemployment is published by Planning Commission, Central Statistical Organization, National Sample Survey, and journal published by Employment Exchange Reports. Bhagwati Committee was established to study the problem of unemployment, and it clearly talks about magnitude and causes of unemployment. Remember, when we are discussing about the open unemployment, at that time we discussed the sources of information regarding the unemployment. So if in any of the examination it has been asked that what are the sources from where the information regarding unemployment can be found, or the information will be getting, then you have to write that 3 methods that given in open unemployment. That is, here to get proper open unemployment, people very difficult, still there are 3 methods: through registration, through sample survey, and through census. These are the methods of this particular data of unemployment. But here we are interested about knowing which are the agencies that are giving information. So it is clearly given over here that the causes of unemployment, in which the first paragraph is that in India the information regarding unemployment is published by, first of all, Planning Commission, because Planning Commission is having all these kind of data, because their work is to collect, analyze, interpret, and then publish data. Second one is a Central Statistical Organization. It may also ask in one-liner that what is CSO. Then we have to write the full form, that is Central Statistical Organization. Then NSSO, that is National Sample Survey Office or Organization, and journal published by Employment Exchange Reports. So line these particular 3 lines, like if it in examination it is asked that which are the sources of getting information regarding unemployment, then we have to write that published by Planning Commission, CSO, that is Central Statistical Organization, NSSO, that is National Sample Survey Organization, and journal published by Employment Exchange Reports. Next one is a Bhagwati Committee was established to study the problem of unemployment, and it clearly talks about magnitude and causes of unemployment. So it is possibility that it may ask in either MCQ or in one-liner that which committee is established for the finding or for the study of problem of unemployment. Then the answer should be Bhagwati Committee, or it may ask like Bhagwati Committee is established for the study of, and the options will be population, poverty, unemployment, and inflation. So that we have to select option C, that is unemployment. So line this statement also, because it will also useful in either MCQ or in one-liner. Now let us move forward next paragraph. To improve the rate of economic development of a country and to solve the problem of unemployment, in 1951 planned steps were taken, but problem of unemployment became more severe. So as we are focusing on reducing unemployment, and unemployment can be reduced only if we improve our economic development or economic growth of a country. So here, to improve the rate of economic development of a country and to solve the problem of unemployment, in 1951 planned steps were taken, because after getting independence in 1947, first of all, the planning commission was established in 1950 and first 5-year plan started from 1951. So from very first 5-year plan, our focus is on economic development and reducing the problem of unemployment, poverty, etc. So in 1951 planned steps were taken, but the problem of unemployment become more severe instead of reducing. Now let us focus on some of the data which are given here regarding the unemployment. At the end of planning, the level of employment can be known from the following information. So whenever we make the plan for reducing unemployment and we take some of the steps that will be helpful in reducing unemployment, we are getting the information or data which is as follows, and you have to line this data, and in book you have to write according to the 5-year plans. Like at the end of the first 5-year plan, that is from 1951 to 1956, 53 lakh people were unemployed. So you have to make two columns. First column is of the years and second column is of the unemployment rate or unemployment people or unemployed population. In first column, first of all you have to write the first 5-year plan. So instead of year, you may also write the plans. So first 5-year plan, 53 lakh people were unemployed, which increased to 304 lakhs at the end of the fifth 5-year plan. So second column will be of the fifth 5-year plan, and unemployed population 304 lakhs. And at the end of the ninth 5-year plan, the total population under unemployment is 348.5 lakhs. So it can be seen very clearly from the data that instead of reducing the rate of unemployment, in every 5-year plan it increases. So at the end of the first 5-year plan, we are having 53 lakh people who were unemployed. At the end of fifth 5-year plan, there is 304 lakh, and at the end of ninth 5-year plan, there is 348.5 lakhs people who were unemployed. From the above information, it can be seen that India faces extensive unemployment and it is increasing day by day, which is a serious problem. From the above data or from the above information, it can be seen, or it is very clear that we are facing extensive unemployment, and instead of reducing, it increases day by day, which is a serious problem for our economy. And the reasons for high unemployment are high rate of increase in labor supply. This is obvious because every year we are seeing the growth of population on an average 2%. It means every year on an average 2 to 2.5 crore people are adding in the existing population of the country, and that's why the labor force or the labor supply is also increasing like anything. So first problem is increase in labor supply. Second problem is slow rise in employment opportunities. If we are having enough employment opportunities so that we can grab or absorb all this unemployed labor supply, then there will never be a problem of unemployment. But as this is the important reason that slow rise in employment opportunities, it means we are not able to provide employment to each and everyone who wish or who wants to get an employment. Third one is a low savings and investment. This is the main, this one is also one of the important reason, because due to low savings, the investment cannot happen. And as investment is not there, more and more opportunities of employment is also very less, because now people are lacking the fund and they are not able to increase the number of factories, organizations or business opportunities, and they are not able to provide employment. And same time, the fourth reason is limitation of education system. We'll discuss all these points in a very detail. Let us examine the reasons of unemployment in India. So here we are going to start with the first reason, that is high rate of population growth. In India, size of population and high rate of population growth is noticed. Because of high growth rate of population, there is a tremendous increase in the size of population. With this labor supply also increases rapidly, and there is a continuous increase in new laborers in search of employment in labor market. But simultaneously, there is a slow rise in employment opportunities, which increases the problem of unemployment and underemployment. Now let us discuss this particular paragraph. In India, size of population and high rate of population growth is noticed. As we all know that the rate of growth of population is very high in our country, and that's why we are in the second position in all the countries of the world in terms of the population. And this increasing population is also results into increase the rate of population growth, and that results into the high rate of unemployment. Because of high growth rate of population, there is tremendous increase in the size of population. As per the studies, before 1980, the growth rate of population was nearest about 1.64% every year. But after 1980, every year we are seeing there is a high rise in the growth rate of population, and today almost it is reached nearest about 2%. So the high growth rate of population results into high size of population. And with this, labor supply also increases rapidly, because it is obvious that as per the definition of Planning Commission, all those who are above 15 years and below 64 years are in the active workforce group. And if they are not able to getting employment anywhere, then they will be unemployed. But with this increasing population, the labor supply also increases rapidly, and there is continuous increase in new laborers in search of employment in labor market. Today we are seeing that there are so many persons who are unemployed, and they are constantly searching for the job in the labor market, and sometimes it may happen they have to either accept a lower cadre job or be unemployed. But simultaneously, it means if there is balance between the number of active labor force and the job opportunities is there, then there will be a very less problem of unemployment. But in India, simultaneously there is a slow rise in employment opportunities, and that's why this increases the problem of unemployment and underemployment. So it means if with the increasing population we are able to provide job opportunities to each and everyone, then there will be some of the chances that we can reduce the problem of unemployment. But in Indian economy, we are facing a very slow rate of employment opportunities, and there is very slow rise in this opportunity, which increases the problem of unemployment. And sometimes when the people are accepting the lower cadre job, then there will be the problem of underemployment. About both this concept we discussed detail in last few lectures, so there is no need to elaborate once again. Now let us move forward. According to one estimate, in India, each year there is an increase in population by 1.70 crores, which is more than the total population of Australia. So with this much increase in population and lack of employment opportunities, it is obvious that unemployment will rise. The rate of growth of unemployment is much lesser than the population growth rate in India, which gives rise to the problem of unemployment, and it keeps on increasing. Let us discuss. According to one estimate, in India, each year there is an increase in population by 1.70 crores. It is a rough estimate because if we are seeing today's growth, then it is nearest about 2 crore every year, which is more than total population of Australia. Because when these digits were written in this particular book, at that time the population of Australia was 1.51 crore. At the same time, the population increase in India every year is 1.70 crore. It means every year we are creating one full Australia in India, and that is why the population of India is increasing like anything. So with this much increase in population and lack of employment opportunities, both these issues we discussed in last paragraph itself, that increase in population and lack of employment opportunities, it's obvious that unemployment will rise, because all those people who are in an active labor force wants to work, they are ready to accept the job, but there is very less number of employment opportunities and they are not getting a job. That's why the unemployment will rise. The rate of growth of employment is much lesser than the population growth rate in India. Likewise, according to one estimate, every year there is on an average 1.30 crore labor force is increasing, or we can say that every year 1.30 crore new people are adding to the labor supply. But with the job opportunity of private and public sector, we are only absorbing 25 to 30 lakh among all this 1.30 crore. So every year there is a chance that almost 1 crore population is there who are unemployed. So the rate of employment is much lesser. It is almost 20 to 22% than the population growth rate in India, and that gives rise to the problem of unemployment, and it's keep on increasing instead of decreasing, because the rate of employment opportunities is still very less and we are not able to provide job opportunities to each and everyone, and that's why the problem of unemployment becomes more and more severe. Now let us move towards the second point, that is slow rise in employment opportunities. Increase in employment and economic growth rate has strong relationship, but during planning period there was continuous increase in economic growth, but we failed in creating employment opportunities, which shows that economic growth has remained jobless growth. Initially we discussed about the high rate of population. Now we are discussing about the slow rise in employment opportunities. As we already discussed that with increasing population, if we are able to provide job opportunities to each and everyone, then there will be the possibility that the rate of unemployment can be reduced. But In India, it is not happening, and that's why. Let us discuss about the slow rise in employment opportunities. Increase in employment and economic growth rate has strong relationship. Economic growth and economic development concepts are there in chapter number 2 of this particular subject, Economics of Standard 12. Basically, in any of the country, if economic growth rate or economic development rate is increasing, then along with that the employment opportunities is also increasing, because economic growth is the result of the quantitative changes. It means it increases the quantity of the production, and as the quantity of production increases, more and more laborers are employed, and with that more and more people will get employment opportunities, and that results into higher employment. So if there is high rate of economic growth, then there will be the high rate of employment opportunities is also there. But during planning periods, that is starting from 1951 to up to 2016, there was continuous increase in economic growth, but we failed in creating employment opportunities. It means there was continuous increase in economic growth. In majority of the country, it can be seen that if the economic growth rate is increases, the level of standard of living is also increases, and people are getting more and more employment opportunities. But during this planning period, there was continuous increase in economic growth, but we failed in creating employment opportunities, which shows that economic growth has remained jobless growth. Line this whole statement, it may ask in 2 marks, that is, explain the statement that economic growth has remained jobless growth, and you have to write this full paragraph so that you will get a good marks. Now let us move towards next paragraph. In first 3 decades of planning, India attained 3.5% of economic growth. This growth rate increased to 7.6% in 10th 5-year plan and 7.8% in 11th 5-year plan. But still, number of unemployed kept increasing. Even after planned economic growth, opportunities cannot be created for old and new entrants. Green revolution in agriculture sector remain limited to certain areas and sector other than agriculture observed slow growth. Employment cannot be created as per labor supply, which increase unemployment. So here again we have some of the data regarding this economic growth and employment opportunities. In first 3 decades of planning, that is starting from 1951 to 1980 or 81, India attained 3.5% of economic growth. It is very less, or we can say negligible, in comparison of other countries. This growth rate increased to 7.6% in 10th 5-year plan and 7.8% in 11th 5-year plan. But still, number of unemployed kept increasing. As we discussed in last paragraph also, that as the economic growth increasing, with that the number of employment ratio is also increasing. It means the unemployment ratio will decrease if economic growth is there. But here we can see that in the initial 3 decades, our rate of economic growth was just 3.5%. We can understand that it is the era where everything or sustainable development was necessary, and India was lacking in each and every part, whether it is on the population, on poverty, unemployment, industrial sector, agriculture sector, everywhere. But then also, after that, the growth rate of this economy is 7.6% in 10th 5-year plan and 7.8% in 11th 5-year plan. It means here we increase the rate of economic growth because it is almost double than in the initial 3 decades of planning. But still, the number of unemployed is not reduced and it kept increasing because of the slow rise in employment opportunities. Even after planned economic growth, it means in some of the 5-year plan we focused only on employment increasing or on employment opportunities. Like from second 5-year plan we focused on development of industrial sector and other development also. So even after planned economic growth, that every year or every 5 year we are planning to have an impressive economic growth, and with that we are expecting that we are getting impressive employment opportunities also. But the opportunities cannot be created for old and new entrants. It means all those existing unemployed people and all those new entrants in the labor supply are not able to getting a job instead of highest level of economic growth is there. So you may also write this thing in the above statement, that is economic growth has remained jobless growth. So if it is asked in 3 marks, then you have to write this full point on that, and lastly you have to mention that due to these reasons the economic growth remained jobless growth. Now green revolution, it is given in chapter 8 of subject economics, and it is also there in standard 10th syllabus. That green revolution in agriculture sector remain limited to certain areas because there are so many requirements, or we can say presumptions, regarding the green revolution, that availability of the water should be there and proper use of the pesticides and seeds should be there, etc., etc. And due to this limited technology in limited areas or certain areas and sector other than agriculture observed slow growth. This is the main reason behind the slow rise in employment opportunities, because even today the majority of the population is still dependent on agriculture. It is not that they are or they wishful engage in the agricultural productivity, but the reason is that the growth of other sectors is very low, like the growth of industrial sector in employment opportunity or the growth of service sector in employment opportunities is very less, and that's why compulsorily people have to engage in the agricultural sector. But because of that the disguised unemployment is prevailing. So same as in certain areas, that is sectors other than agriculture also observed slow growth. If the growth rate of these sectors other than agriculture is higher, then we will be able to provide more employment opportunities. So because of all these reasons, employment cannot be created as per labor supply, which increase unemployment. So if we want to increase the employment ratio, then we have to focus on this particular point, that is employment opportunities. Here in this question, the causes of unemployment we are having: third one is low rate of savings and investment, fourth one is capital intensive production techniques, fifth one is lack of vocational education, sixth one is lack of manpower planning, and seventh one is inefficiency of public sector, eighth one is negligence towards agriculture sector, ninth one is no mobility of workers, 10th one is lack of infrastructural facilities. So among all these 10, today we restrict ourselves to first 2 points only. That is, in first point we discuss about the high rate of population growth, and same way In second point, we discuss about the slow rise in employment opportunities. From next lecture onwards, we will discuss about the low rate of savings and investment and capital intensive production techniques and other points which are given over here. First of all, you have to list out all these measures in your concept book, and then step by step you have to write all these concepts as we discussed in our lectures. I hope you will do the same as I have said. Thank you very much, class.